proceed, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time we drop a video, which is either gonna be Monday or Friday, of course. All right, and hit us up with that super like. All right, we greatly appreciate it. And check out these mixed nuts friends. All right, guys, these guys are super fantastic. They're available on all platforms. Check them out. You can check us out on Instagram. That's that mixed nuts 3000, of course. That mixed nuts 3000. Run it.
So, get this. In the quiet town of Portsmouth, one man decided to answer a question nobody was asking: what if ghosts had to deal with local ordinances? This guy, a true pioneer of the paranormal, thought it'd be brilliant to haunt a cemetery. Yes, a cemetery. It's like trying to sell ice to penguins. He threw a white sheet over his head, went to a place already full of permanent residents, and floated around making spooky noises. The local headline should have read, "Local man fined for being a ghost. Even the afterlife isn't free." This is a story of a prank so simple, so classic, that it went completely, beautifully wrong. Our protagonist, Casper the Trespasser, wasn't planning a Hollywood production. No, this was low-budget haunting. His grand plan involved a single bed linen and some vocal warm-ups. He went to a local cemetery, a place of peace, quiet, reflection, dead people. He wanted to add a little spice, a little boo. He thought he was bringing interactive theater to the community. Instead, he brought a whole lot of awkwardness. So, our ghost begins his performance. He's probably feeling pretty good about it. He's got his costume on. He's found a good spot behind a large, dramatic-looking tombstone. He starts his routine. A slow, ethereal glide. A soft, mournful moan. At first, people likely just stared. You see a figure in a white sheet in a cemetery, and your brain has to do a few laps to process it. Is it an art installation? A fraternity prank? Did someone lose their laundry in a very specific, very weird way? The initial reaction was probably less terror and more a deep, profound confusion. But then, our performer decided to up the ante. He got a little closer to people. The moans got a bit louder. He started waving his arms, trying to look less like a man under a sheet and more like an apparition. This is when the confusion started to curdle into something else. One passerby, probably just trying to have a quiet walk, saw this sheet-clad figure getting a bit too enthusiastic and decided, nope. They turned around and walked away quickly. A nearby dog started barking its head off. The owner, seeing their dog freaking out at a budget ghost, decided this had crossed a line. This is the critical moment in any prank, the point of no return. It's the moment when your joke stops being funny to you and starts being a genuine nuisance, or even scary to someone else. The dog owner didn't laugh. They called the police. And here's our second joke. What's a ghost's least favorite sound? The siren of a police car, because it usually means the party's over. Ectoplasmic, imagine being one of the police officers who got this call.
Dispatch, could you repeat that?
A man dressed as a ghost is haunting the cemetery? You'd think it was a prank call, but no. They arrive at this peaceful, historic cemetery to find the scene exactly as described. There he is, Mr. Sheethead himself, probably in the middle of his big finale. The police approach, and you can just picture the conversation.
Sir, can you please remove the sheet?
It's a sentence that has probably never been uttered in the history of British law enforcement. The man, his ghostly illusion shattered by the harsh reality of a high-visibility jacket, removed his costume. He was just a guy. He explained himself.
He was just having a bit of fun. He didn't mean any harm. He just wanted to make people laugh.
The police listened patiently. You have to give them credit. They didn't laugh, they didn't pull out their phones to record it, they treated it with deadpan seriousness. They had to consider the law, they had to consider public order, they had to consider the dozens of complaints. This is where the story pivots from a silly prank to a lesson in civics. The cemetery is public land, but it's not a free-for-all. There are rules about behavior, especially behavior that could be seen as disrespectful or causing distress. They couldn't arrest him for bad comedy, but they could get him on public order offenses. So they did what the system is designed to do. They issued a fine, a financial penalty for a spiritual performance. The fine itself wasn't huge. It was a fixed penalty notice, the kind you get for littering being a nuisance. But the symbolism of it is just perfect. The man had to pay real-world money for his otherworldly antics. It was the government's way of saying, we appreciate your creativity, but there's a time and a place, and this is neither. He learned a valuable lesson that day. If you're gonna haunt somewhere, make sure you have the proper permits. And that's our third and final joke. The ghost wasn't scary, but the fine was horrifying. He went from boo to boo-hoo real quick. Let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer lack of effort in the costume. A white sheet, 2 holes for the eyes. This is the original ghost costume. The Ghost 1.0. 5 minutes, 0 budget. There's a certain purity, a minimalist charm, but that simplicity makes it cringe-worthy here. He wasn't trying for a detailed, believable character. He was using the most basic, cartoonish ghost trope. That's why it failed as a scare. Imagine him getting ready, standing in front of a mirror, draping the sheet over his head. He tries a few moans. Woo! Is that too high? Boo! Too aggressive? Practicing a floaty walk, bumping into furniture. The prep was as silly as the event. He saw himself as a mischievous spirit to everyone else. A grown man under bed linen in daylight. No specific ghost, no backstory. Not the ghost of a Portsmouth figure. He was just ghost. The generic, off-brand version, a truly great prank, has layers. It has thought behind it. This had the depth of a puddle. The beauty of the setting is what makes the story so absurd. The contrast is everything. You have the deep, quiet dignity of this historic resting place, and then you have a dude in a sheet. It's like watching a Shakespearean tragedy and someone in the front row starts making shadow puppets on the stage. The man wasn't just performing a prank, he was performing a masterclass in how to be profoundly, almost artistically out of place. He took a location defined by respect and tried to turn it into his personal TikTok set, and Portsmouth, quite rightly, was not having it. A prank is like a tightrope walk. On one side, you have harmless fun and laughter. On the other side, genuine fear, disrespect, a call to the police. This guy didn't just fall off the tightrope. He swan dived off it into a pool of bad decisions. The problem wasn't the sheet. The problem wasn't the boo. The problem was the location. A joke's success is 90% context. The context of a cemetery is grief, memory, respect. The same prank at a Halloween street festival? Hilarious. The same prank in your friend's living room? Classic. The same prank in a place where someone is quietly mourning the loss of a loved one? It becomes cruel, even if that's not the intention. There's an old rule for comedy and for life: punch up, not down. Don't make the vulnerable your target. In this scenario, the people visiting a cemetery are, by definition, in a vulnerable state. They are not there for entertainment. The man's prank, however lighthearted he thought it was punching down. It was a joke at the expense of people's peace and quiet. It's sad because it shows a disconnect. The man was so focused on his own desire for a laugh, for a reaction, that he became completely blind to the feelings of those around him. It's a very modern kind of selfishness, one driven by the need to be the main character to create content, even if the content is just you in a sheet. A good prank makes everyone laugh in the end. including the person being pranked. A bad prank ends with one person laughing and everyone else feeling uncomfortable or annoyed. This was a bad prank. The headlines are full of wild stories, but this one is special. It's a reminder that while truth may be stranger than fiction, it can also be a lot more awkward. We've learned that there is, in fact, a line. It's a fine line, drawn somewhere between a public park and a graveyard, and this man pole vaulted over it with a bedsheet. We've learned that even the most classic pranks require a modern understanding of your audience. And most importantly, we've learned that if you want to be a ghost, it's better to be a metaphorical one in a meeting than a literal one among the tombstones. At least in the meeting, you won't get a fine. This story is a small, perfect mirror of our times. In an age where everyone is chasing a viral moment, people will do increasingly strange things for attention. They'll perform stunts, they'll make videos, they'll put on a sheet and try to scare people in a cemetery. But what this man forgot is that the internet is not the only audience. The real world is still here, with real people, real feelings, and real police officers who have to fill out paperwork for disturbance of the peace by a spectral impersonator. His quest for a few laughs ended up being a lesson in public decency. The man paid his fine. He has his story to tell, though it's probably not the one he wanted. He's not the cool prankster who outsmarted everyone. He's the guy who got a ticket for being a bad ghost. He might be more careful next time. He might choose a better venue, like a Halloween party or, literally anywhere else. He might finally learn the golden rule of pranking. First, do no harm. Second, make sure your joke is actually funny to someone other than yourself. It's a simple rule, but clearly, it's one that's easy to forget when you've got a perfectly good sheet just lying around. So, if you take anything away from this, let it be a piece of friendly advice. If you ever feel the urge to drape yourself in linen and haunt your local cemetery, maybe just stay home and watch a ghost movie instead. It's cheaper, it's warmer.
Alright, Mixed Nuts, that is it for me today. I'm about to make like a baby and head out. If you want to support the channel, go to buymeacoffee.com/mixednuts. We got new videos coming every Monday or Friday. Of course, you can check us out on Instagram. That's that Mixed Nuts 3000. And until next time,